has that show on TV. What's the name of that show? You're that big old black fella that has that, not ridiculous. Of kind of, yeah, that, I seen that white suit he wears sometime in Dubai.
Are you talking about Steve Harvey?
Yeah,
He's hilarious. I used to watch his show.
I like to see when somebody says something off the wall here.
He's better than Richard
Yeah, that's
Dawson
it.
ever was. Much I hate to say that on that show.
Thank you.
Good.
Well, evidently it's childproof because I can't get into it.
There's the Burns. Donna is in a hospital place now, an infusion, I think, in Jacksonville. She'll be back tomorrow evening.
She didn't get to come home.
You know, she was going to, and then she felt so bad yesterday, or day before yesterday.
That's all right. Tomorrow, okay? Just keep- I like your suit.
It's a sport coat. They just put on a very fair khakis. They just happened to find it this morning. I had it.
I like it.
I think somebody gave it to me.
So,
Look the way I got the bread here. You don't mind.
it goes good together.
I think so. I was
Morning,
wondering.
Good morning, Charlie.
All right,
Oh, I can't complain.
I can't either.
I could, but then nobody wants to listen to it.
Yeah.
I heard it enough.
You
And if I
think,
start complaining, you look around, people a lot worse
Yeah,
than me.
that's yours.
you think I'll work
Good
good?
morning. Yes, sir. Good morning, Reese.
All right. Good morning. Donna is still in Jacksonville. She just texted me. She's in a, I think she's getting an infusion. She doesn't really know what it is, what they're doing now, but she said something's gonna hurt. So
Yeah.
she said something, anyway, that's where she is right now. She was gonna come home Friday and stay today. Yesterday, she didn't have anything to do. But they gave her a COVID shot.
What kind of shot?
COVID. Her last one, she had to have it.
The
Keep
booster
continuing.
thing?
And I've had them. You don't get sick, but you feel like you're sick
You feel this,
because your body is reacting to it, and it
Yeah.
makes you think you're sick. And I got it was a bad night. The night of, both nights I got mine, but that's what was wrong with it. In fact, she went to a doctor after she got the shot, or right before. She said, "How many of these are there?" She said, "I stopped at 3. The doctor did, said I ate them too." So maybe that's all she has to take. All right, Charles, would you just want to pray to get started?
Sure. Let's pray, please. We thank you, Heavenly Father, for this beautiful morning. Lord, we ask you to be with our friend, loved one that's away from us this day. Be with her, keep her safe on the way home. We ask you to be with our family itself going home today. We ask you to be with them, Lord. Again, Lord, we ask you to be with our military. Be with them and keep them safe, especially the veterans. We ask you to go with us now as we go into Bible study. May we get something out of it to apply it to our daily living. In Jesus' name, amen.
amen.
Amen. All right, in Mark 4, the paragraph that begins with 13, Jesus is explaining his parable for the sower. And let's see, we talked about the seed sown beside the road. It just doesn't. The ground gets hard and the seed doesn't go into it. It's like throwing seeds up cement. It's not going to happen. The birds come and eat it. It's the same way with people. Some people don't want to hear it. Some people don't want to listen to it. And the reason they don't It could be many, but a lot of times the ground, like most of the time I found overwhelmingly, the ground gets hard before they even hear the word. They don't want to have nothing to do with it.
Plow the road.
People are so caught up in what they're doing, you know. There was a child in class this week. I was talking to him about Japan and China, but mainly about Japan, the last part. That's fascinating history. I used to spend the day on it. And I gave a quiz, and he said, I don't know any of these. I said, I'd be surprised if you did. You were sitting in here watching music videos and movies and stuff the whole time on your Chromebook while we were talking about it. He said, you didn't say anything. I said, didn't even
Why didn't
notice.
you come to class?
I said, you you didn't listen. He said, well, I don't want to fail. I said, I guess you would, but you're gonna. Because you gotta take this, so you either get a 0 on it for not taking it, or take it and see what you get. That's the thing, you get so caught up in something else that you don't really hear what the Word of God says, or you don't really care on the two. The second one is Rocky Places. Oh, okay, I heard it. That sounds pretty good. Let me just jump in immediately with both feet, both hands, my head, and then I get tired of it.
Get burned out before they ever get burned
Yeah.
up.
And all of a sudden they feel, in fact, this happened to a friend of ours, actually, John Paul Simon was a missionary in Brazil. And he said that he was preaching and this fella came forward and was baptized and into Christ. And after 6 months, almost 6 months exactly, the guy stopped coming. So he went and talked to him and he told him, and I admire this ideal, but not what he did with it. He said, why aren't you coming? He said, because I'm embarrassed. I've been a Christian for 6 months and I haven't brought anybody to Christ. He was trying to go too fast, but I do admire his attitude and his zeal that he had. But you got to understand that we are not the ones that make it successful. God is the one that makes it successful.
Yeah, we just planted more, God.
Planted, watered, weeded, whatever,
Yeah.
I mean, explain.
God gives the increase.
But God is the one who gives the increase. And that's what people understand, because I remember years ago when I was going to a preacher meeting, everybody was going around and they were talking about, well, we got our statistics in for last year. We baptized so many people. And the other one said, we beat you. They asked me, how many did you baptize? I said, I don't even know. I can count. I said, I can take it this. We baptized everybody who wanted to. We baptized everybody who wanted to be baptized.
You could be like the Apostle Paul, what he said, I think, when they talked about it, and he told them in Corinthians about Christ being divided, and he says that some say I'm Cephas, some say I'm, and is Christ divided? He says, I'm glad I didn't get, in other words, that's what I got.
In other words, I didn't baptize any, I'll save somebody and somebody.
Yeah,
And
Christmas
he started to
and
remember, he added 2 or 3 more,
Christmas.
Oh, well, wait a minute, I did baptize a couple more. But I don't want to be known as that, though.
If you force them into baptism, that's basically what people do a lot of times. They're not being baptized. They're just
And
getting
honestly, I used to be very good at that. I'm sorry to say. But when I first started, I thought that was the measure of success, and I did it too. I did it just like everybody else did. You can, if you look in people's face and you understand and you see what's there, you honestly can do it. I mean, you can work on guilt, you can work on, all kinds of stuff. I don't do it anymore. I haven't in decades now, but I used to do it. I feel bad about it.
That's all the
I could-
learning process.
I could get you in the water. But then I started second guessing myself. And it's a good thing I did, because, well, wait a minute, something's not happening right. Because these people would be baptized and be so happy about it. But then after a little while, you would never see them again. They're being converted to the wrong thing. And I finally realized that after doing it myself for a long time. They're being converted to the wrong thing. They're being converted as an answer of guilt. I can remember an elder did this, and this guy was a thorn in my side, and he still is. But he got somebody down the aisle, their parents, who were both good, faithful members of the church, from what I understand. And I was talking to him, and he kind of interrupted and butted in, which I hate. I hate that happens. But I can't stand that when somebody does that. And I try my best never to do it. But anyhow, he butted in and said, would mom and daddy be so good be so happy looking out the window of heaven and seeing you give your life to Christ? And I got her. She went down, was baptized, and it didn't last very long. He kept bragging on the fact that he baptized her when I couldn't. And it's not that I couldn't, it's I wouldn't.
Being baptized, you just gotta wait.
Yeah, they don't change. I mean, she later came because of several times that I talked to her, and she said, I was kind of railroaded, wasn't I? And I said, you kind of were. She's converted, and it's a wonderful thing to make your parents happy, you know? It's a wonderful thing to make your parents happy, but that's what she was converted to. She wasn't converted to Jesus Christ and his sacrifice, you see? She just assumed, I want to make mom and dad happy. And I've seen all kinds of things like that happen. The problem is you don't change, you don't convert for the right things, to the right things. You change to something odd. And I have seen people come down the aisle wanting to be baptized that knew everything there was to know about the Lord's Supper and how many cups you're supposed to use and whether or not to use instrumental music when you sing, and how often to take the Lord's Supper every first day of the week and all this kind of stuff. They had absolutely no idea about God's love for them other than the fact that he did, but didn't know what it meant. And the fact that Jesus' sacrifice, what it meant. That, and had no clue about what it means to live a Christian life. Because, folks, there's more to being a Christian than singing without a piano. That's,
Well, Joe, to
in my
say,
opinion,
you
that's one of the
make mom
smaller
and daddy,
things.
say you make mom and daddy happy, didn't Jesus say, if you don't hate mother, father, brother, and sister, and put me first, you're not of mine?
He did, but the problem is we convert people to the wrong things.
Well, that's not convert people to Christ, that's convert people to
That's where
love
you
your
convert
brother and
people to other
father and
things.
your brother and sister.
And converting people to not using pianos. And converting people to use, look, there's more.
They'll fight you over those pianos, but they won't fight you over what Jesus did
Well,
for them.
Plus, there's way more to a worship service than not using a piano. There's way more to a worship service than communion. There's a lot of worship that takes place in the church that's not communion. You know, that's part of it, certainly. That's part of being together to worship, certainly so. But there's more to it than that. There's more to singing than just singing without a piano. There's more to the Lord's Supper than just not using one cup and using individual ones, or even the other way, whichever way you believe. It's okay to do either one.
It all comes from one cup.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah, what I'm saying is it's such a silly thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's such a silly thing. Now the other one is, and others who sow seed among the thorns. These are the ones who have heard the word, but the worries of the world and the deceitfulness of wealth and the desires for other things. In fact, what I think Jesus is saying is, I don't want to take up these people's time and my time listing all these things like he started to do. He said, worries of the world, deceitfulness of wealth, and then there's so many other things. So, and the desires for other things. You know, this happens to people, and this is Satan's very special trick. People hear it, they like it, they accept it, they become Christians, they really like it, but then, you know, the worries of the world. There's a lot of those.
Good with you in that wrong ocean.
There's a lot of those worries of the world. You know?
Say in Matthew about, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added to you.
Don't worry about this garbage in this present world.
Today has enough evil of its own, or enough problems of its own.
The passage, and I thought this was pretty, My Greek teacher actually made this, and he got mad about it. He said, "Shall we continue in sin that grace may abound? God forbid. May it never be." He said, "Shall we get into the garbage of this present world so that God can give us a whole lot more grace? May it never be. God forbid." You know, what they were teaching was an odd thing. They were teaching that God's grace forgives sin. Okay. Well, if I sin a whole lot more, then I get a whole lot more grace, right?
That's the way they take it.
That's the way it's supposed to be taken. But what he said about it was actually true. The garbage of this world, you're just looking for an excuse to be in this garbage of this world. The worries of the world, and folks, there is a bunch of them. I know because I've laid awake at night, not being able to sleep over them in the past, and I had to train myself not to. In fact, there are two things that you should never worry about. One is things you can't do anything about. And the other thing is those things you can do something about. Don't worry about those things. If you can do something about it, do it. And forget it. If you can't do anything about it, then you can't do anything about it. There's no point in worrying about it. It's not going to change a thing.
Well, Joe, it is written, worry not, the word will not change one statute of your life.
And we'll add 1 inch to your
Deceitfulness of wealth. That's a big one. I mean, everybody wants to be rich.
Want to be what?
Rich, wealthy.
We are rich.
We are, but how many of us in the past have wanted extra money?
Everybody, I think.
How many of us, and I'll even admit I've done it, how many of us have prayed to God for more money? I have. I haven't got so far as bargaining with God. You know, if you'll give me money, I'll do this. I don't think I've ever done that. But I have heard that from people. I don't think they're bargaining, but I think it's a dodge. I think they understand that what they're saying is kind of wrong, so they're trying to justify it. Oh, if I just had more money, the things I could do for the kingdom and for the church, which is entirely true. You know, but a good judge of that is what are you doing with what you got now?
What have you had been doing that you can still do and keep it up?
So seriously, this world and its garbage, live in it, but look forward to something else. And the last one is not just self-explanatory. And the ones sown with seed on the good soil, they hear the word and accept it and bear fruit, 30, 60, and 100 times as much. And we talked about this Wednesday night. It doesn't say or, it says and. It seems like to me is the same people are producing 30, 60, and 100 times as much. In other words, this year you may not be that good at it, or you may not, you bear fruit at 30 times as much, and then next year maybe 60. You know, you get better at it.
Graduate up.
Yeah. I can remember several years ago, and when I was about halfway through my time in Kentucky, and I kind of learned a lot there. And one lady said, "Joe, you're one of the best preachers I've ever heard. Thank God you're better than you were when you first got here."
Well, that was a compliment there. wasn't it?
Kinda. And she was right, and she was being nice, and she loved me dearly until she died. But that's the thing about us preachers, we never are very good, because people will say, you know, one of these days you're going to be the best preacher ever. You're going to have a real gift for preaching. And then after a while, they say, you know, I can remember you when you were in your prime and you were really good. And then, you know, when people pray about us, they pray that we'll have a ready recollection of those things, you know, that they studied. Well, you know, I'm not going to forget it. I mean, I just did it this week, so I don't really need a ready recollection. And then after a while, they say, Lord, just give him a few more years, you know. At first, they said that keep his mind sober, give him a sober mind. I don't know what that meant, but preachers, we never are very good. We're going to be very good, and we were very good, but we never are right now. You know.
I'm here to say, do it with a sober mind. Whatever you do it with a sober mind.
I don't believe in that. I mean, I don't believe in drinking a bunch of alcohol and being unsober, but what I do believe is every now and then you are to drop it all and have fun
Oh, yeah.
in a clean way, but you are to enjoy yourself. You know, there are people in this world, you know, I would love to be able to, you know, watch. People need to be able to watch a television show and enjoy themselves. All that sin and away stuff. But see, what I'm saying here is this good soil, they're going to bear fruit 30, 60, and 100 times as much. They're just going to bear fruit. How much is immaterial? You know, 30, 60, 100, 1,000, whatever times as much. You're going to do it. You know, you're going to do it. Every, I quit caring about this, but every year the state of Georgia judges our schools. They used to give us a report card, and that went away. It's called CCRPI now, College and Career Readiness Performance Index.
We got too much.
And they measure all this, have these formulas, and they're useless, by the way. One statistic we're judged on is how many students have 5 or more absences in the school year.
You don't have control over that.
No, but yet they say I do. And then I asked why it was. The state official says, well, you should make your lessons interesting enough so that children will want to come. I said, there ain't no way. I mean, but, you know, he said he was convinced. And
Make your lessons interesting enough that they won't get sick.
yeah, and it's,
Or play hooky.
our play hook, you skip class, you know. Which this is the worst year I've ever seen of that, but all kinds of kids have left us because they skipped class. Anyhow, you know, it's a state, and it's a state, federal government, and just about everywhere, even county. They want to try to hang a number on something that a number doesn't belong on. You know, if you grade a test, I told the kids this. If you grade a test, what's the difference between an 89 and a 90?
Most one.
Well, that's
Really nothing. I mean, when you come right down to it, there's not any difference, especially like on a 100-point test. You know, there's absolutely no difference. But one is a 4 on your grade point average, and one is a 3. You know, on your grade point average.
Well, that's like when Amber went to the doctor and they evaluated her.
Yeah.
And said she's in the 60-70% of her group.
Yeah.
You know, I said, what does that really mean?
Nothing. And the things that they judge, they give them the grades at some test. I can't remember what it's called. Right when they're born, which is immaterial to me. I mean, there's a lot of these numbers that to me are useless. What I hate are the political ones, the polls and stuff like that, because people take that as gospel, you know, and it's never worked. I mean, it's never worked. Donald Trump was never supposed to get the Republican nomination when he won that time. Jimmy Carter was never supposed to get the Democratic candidacy. Walter Mondale, who was an old best school, was supposed to get it. George Bush, the first one, was supposed to get the Republican nomination until Reagan came out of the side and he was a dark horse candidate and he won. So, you know, those things don't mean a thing to me. Public opinion polls don't mean a thing to me either. And guys, have you ever done anything on a Likert scale? That means 0 to 10. and you plug in how you feel about it. You know, and they tell you that you go to the emergency room. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much pain are you in?
11,
Uh,
I wouldn't be here.
75 million, you know? I'm hurting, make it stop, you know? You know, I don't know what to tell them. But they want you to do it every day you're in the
Yeah,
hospital. They
got
have a
this
color
little
in.
Smiley, this face that starts off, and I mean, you
I
can't,
hate that smiley face.
I know it.
And that frowny face.
Frowny
Then
face.
gets fried.
Well, at least,
You have.
you know, at least one of them I've seen lately has categories.
Yeah,
You know, no pain at all.
yeah.
You know, some pain, some discomfort, but you still function. You know, and you go up to
10.
get crying, and you know,
Yeah.
Action heat.
you know, how good of a Christian are you? Well, 30, 60, 100. I'm just doing the best I can.
Yeah.
You know,
With what I got
I'm
going
trying
on.
to bear fruit. Some days you can't. You know, some days you don't see much evidence of it, but I think you always do. You never know what you're
Some
what you
people,
were worth.
some people will judge you by what you will not put up with
Yeah.
and what kind of Christian you are. And I
And so-
get that.
Some people want to judge you. Some people want you to be worse than they are. And they'll have an excuse
Well,
not to
they
be
say
much
that.
good.
They say you're supposed to be better than me.
But you are.
You're supposed to be better than me, let us walk all over you.
Well, I mean, you're supposed to be better means you need to give me my way all the time.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
And personally, I don't accept or recognize any judgment about myself from those outside the church. I don't care what you say.
I wish I.
Well, we aren't supposed to, are we?
I don't think so. And in fact, I don't recognize all that much from inside the church who are Christians. My kind of hero was
What's
a
that?
guy by the name of Rule Lemons. He's passed away now, but he held himself accountable only to God. That was it. And I noticed that Jesus does the same thing.
Well, Jesus was God.
I'm not, yeah, but the only other people he ever held himself accountable to was Joseph and Mary. And to me,
That
that
was-
speaks volumes about those two people.
No, that's because he lived the example.
Uh-huh.
So children are supposed to mind their parents, so he's showing the example. Even I will mind my parents and my earth,
I just don't-
even though the one who has authority over me is God Almighty.
But what kind of people must they have been? You know, if Jesus himself, because Jesus would not bow down to the Sanhedrin, the high priest. He would not bow down to Herod, and
Well,
he
she
would
loved
not
him.
bow down to Rome.
She loved him.
But he held himself in subjection to Joseph and Mary. And to me, that speaks volumes of good things about Joseph and Mary. I doubt there have been two finer people that's ever lived as mortals.
Well, Joe, they couldn't have been, if God wouldn't have picked him.
Exactly.
They had to be special.
So, and I've seen this, it sows in the good ground and they love it and they slowly work into it. Now, in verse 21, he kind of continues with the word, and he was saying to them, a lamp is not brought to be put under a basket or under a bed, is it? Is it not bought to be put on the lampstand? For nothing is hidden except to be revealed, nor is anything been secret, but that it would come to light. If anyone hears ears, let him hear. Now, the next one is going to get everybody, but the verse begins in verse 24. That is really going to fly in the face just about every organized religion today. But if you have a lamp, okay, in those days, they're talking about an oil lamp.
Right.
Which-
Flame.
In all fairness, not only is it not bought to be put under a basket or under a bed, that's dang dangerous.
That's what was.
You know, it's got an open flame, and you're gonna set fire to the bed or the basket, one of the two. But even today, I think what he's talking about is the light that it has. Okay,
Don't cover it. Don't
yeah,
Try to smother it.
Yeah.
why in the world would we pay electricity for lights that we're gonna cover up?
That's stupid.
Now, I don't have one, because
I
I
know
teach
somebody that does
in
that.
a trailer, but Honestly, I feel the same kind of way about curtains, you know? In school, everybody has, since they did our big, renovation a few years ago, about 5 years ago, everybody has LED lights, and one of them is always on. They're on,
That's the one.
they're on motion detectors too, so all the lights except for one cut off if everybody's still in the room. But some teachers have covered that always on light up. Because they want to use the projector or this, that, or the
Yeah,
other.
That's true.
But you tell me, what good is it doing? If there's an emergency, you know, at night, where the window won't work, it's gonna be dark.
There's one of them leaves the lights on because he's late coming home.
Well, there's that too.
Yeah, he leaves it on all day long.
I mean, you come to my house, and I know somebody, when Jimmy passed away, I have lights all over my, night lights and everything. Cause I mean, it's a safety issue with me.
Yeah, where you live at.
Right.
Where I live.
Okay,
And-
let's look at that one.
But they turn them all off.
Buy a floodlight to go outside at night. Have it on a timer, maybe have Alexa, have it on a timer,
Go out.
and then go out and paint it black
Or turn
over
it
top
off
of it.
Before you go out.
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, let's use his illustration and apply it to our lives. I've got a request to make, but in a minute after I finish. But if I don't ever say it, y'all won't know that I need something, right? I mean, there's the thing. If there's some good news, why don't we talk about it? That's what the gospel means, is good news. If somebody gets honor roll while they're in school, let's discuss it. You know, if somebody gets a promotion, let's congratulate them. But if nobody knows, it's no news to anybody. You know,
Well, you have to kind of be intuitive to people's lives and kind of read them, I guess you would say, to know what they need, you know, and what's going on in their lives and stuff. You try to pick up on the good things and the bad.
well, yeah, and I've known people that have gone to the hospital and come back home in a large congregation, and they said, I was upset. I was in the hospital for 3 days and nobody came and visited me. And I've told them, you didn't tell anybody,
Right.
Nobody knew. Well, I don't want to bother people. I said, yes, you did, because you wanted somebody to come and see you. I said, you wanted to take out, the thing is, if you're in a hospital, let somebody know. If you're having a bad time, we can't do anything if you fooled us.
That's
You
right.
know?
Yeah.
But the thing is, you just assume that I'm having a bad time or something like
Well,
that.
people don't get mad with you because they assume that you're, got the all-knowing mind.
ESP, and
Yes.
you're clairvoyant.
Yeah.
But the thing is, in the gospel, I see so many congregations, both of the Lord's church and denominations, who are so concerned about what goes on within their walls, but they really never take the gospel anywhere. Take the good news anywhere. You ask people what they want in a church, and they want to do that. They want a church that does this or that or the other, gets together and does. What we need is churches that want to spread the gospel.
Save lost
Yeah.
souls.
I mean, on everything that's sent out from here, except for emails, I need to change that. On your calendar at the bottom, it says bringing the gospel to the world and Delaware. That's what we want to do. We want to bring the gospel to everyone. Everything that we do here should ultimately lead to that, the Great Commission.
Well, that's like when I make a donation to the homeless shelter or Ronald McDonald's, and they want to know which organization sent this.
Right.
And I'm always proud to say the Ellaville Church of Christ, or the ladies at the Ellaville Church of Christ, because that's usually our annual thing that we do or something. So you get your name out.
Yeah, and whatever we do benevolence, like you said, even the things that are for the edification of the saints. You don't do that just because they'll be stronger. You do that so they'll be stronger to put the gospel out there in the world.
They'll be able to produce.
Be able to more do it. You know, that's what you do. That's the mission of the church. I don't understand these congregations that spend everything, and I'm judging money now, but it could be time. You know, it could be other resources that we have, and all they care about is their own place of worship, or all they care about is this, that, inside their walls. You know, years ago, I made a decision, and I talked it over with other preachers that was stupid, but still, I said, as a minister, a preacher of a congregation, as a localized preacher, I don't want to be the biggest expense the church has.
You're not.
You know,
I'm sorry.
I'm not here, but I have been.
You're our biggest asset, but you're not the most expensive. It's
But what I'm saying
electricity.
is, I don't want to be the biggest bill that the church has.
I've seen other churches have pantry items,
Uh,
and the woman I
We
got
have
married in, and they fixing a big old pantry item, like a big old one room, that people that need it.
How
had
many
to
people have
one
church?
myself one time.
that's a great thing, and I'm all in favor of churches doing that. Having a pantry or having a closed closet for people in need. The problem that I have with it, the way it's usually done, is those things aren't really doing any good unless they're empty.
That's right.
Yeah.
A lot of ours, when we did the food pantry here, the food would go out on a date.
Yeah.
And it was wasted. So I always tell everybody, if you know someone in need,
Just take it
let
from
me
yourself.
know and I will take care of it.
All right, if it's back there and you want to eat it, eat it.
Yeah.
Because if it goes out of date,
It goes in trash can.
all right, I'm gonna end here and make my request. Probably the people that are here are the people that will do it. Last Sunday, I was coming out of church and I met I don't know if they're our neighbors or what. The guy was named Chavez, he could barely speak English. Then I talked to Gracie at school, and she said they sold it to somebody named Patel, which is Indian. I don't know why they're there, okay? Or if they're there or something. I cannot believe, well, anyway, whatever. He asked me nicely, okay? What happened is the week before last, Sylvia thought she was helping us out, and she raked leaves, and she made them in piles. He said, that's too close to the trailer. I was gone. Dad told her, Donna told her not to put them over there because it didn't belong to us. We didn't know the people anymore. She did anyway. So the guy asked me very nicely, what was we going to do about the trash? So, with good relations, I burnt all those leaves yesterday. They're still on fire. But I also got Andrea, who's living in Dad's house, paying rent. She kind of got behind in her rent. So I took $500 off that bill, which doesn't make a dent in it. But anyway, and for her, she came over with a U-Haul she actually had. This was the only way we could do it. And the pieces of that tree we had cut down are all over here now in the back. However, the big piece, the big part of the trunk, we could barely get out. And we got it over here as far as we could. I need some help with that one. And I don't even know what you could do. It's gonna need
It's an actual tree.
the tree trunk,
It's the one that got struck by lightning.
long,
I got books on my tractor, probably.
okay? And then
Push you around.
the rest of them, we used a chain in my truck or the chain in that U-Haul to pull them over here. I've got to figure out some way. I don't know if it needs to be chainsawed because it's huge. Y'all can look at it in between church and Sunday school in a second. See what needs to be done. And if you could help with that, it'd be great. But I'm telling you, that thing's heavy. I mean, my truck couldn't move it. We used that U-Haul and it barely moved it. We had to pull it one way, pull it sideways, pull it that way to get it out of there and fish it out of there over where it is now. It's not really in the way, but it needs to go from where it is. The rest of the pieces I just put around our burn. Wow.
The ones got Mary and Owen's house.
Yeah. And we left, I had to, the guy that was cutting it down, he cut it down well, okay? He did a good job cutting it down, but it's, I'm not gonna have him work for us again because, he wants to get paid and then leave and never come back hardly, and then finally come back and want you to buy something else, we're gonna do it, so I'm not gonna do that anymore. But it's down, it got struck by lightning, I just need some help getting it, the little pieces will eventually burn in a while.
Joe has a chainsaw, and if his chainsaw ain't capable, Aaron's got one.
I have one that's too small
Joe.
for that.
Probably have that.
I got 18-inch chainsaw.
Y'all go back there if you could and see what needs to be done, 'cause I don't even know. I'm not even sure how to do it with a chainsaw because I don't think I could lift it. I can't, we couldn't move it.
You don't have to look at the chainsaw.
But I didn't know what to do, but I'm gonna go over to the house and check on Donna. I just called her, see what she's doing. And, if y'all will look at that and see what needs to be done, I would very much appreciate it. Oh, and our camera went off again. It was doing so well.
It's got the jitterbug.
Here, Mr. Hall, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you much.
There we go.
I forgot to send you a text message, I had
How
all
you
this
doing
on
with
the desk,
Miss Kenny?
Oh, okay.
so.
Want to say it all?
All that's
Okay. Oh, that's me,
you.
great.
Yep,
Oh, and this is you
what,
for today.
oh, this,
Yeah.
okay. Do you need to have
No,
this to read
I
it?
need to read it, does it, I was talking about the thing.
This?
Yeah, I
just
had to
gave
have
you-
that
I
for
gave you a
today.
copy. Yeah, I gave you a copy.
I have to concise it and do stuff.
Well, you know, when you think life gets simple, it gets worse.
Very complicated.
My mother,
Did we ever get people a statement of their?
yes,
Did
I
we?
got all that done,
Okay.
yeah.
I doubt anybody's gonna deduct it,
No,
because it's, we have President Trump to thank for that, thank goodness, he gave us that huge, big,
yeah, well,
standard deduction increase.
yeah, and it even went up to $400 extra this year.
Well, that's great.
Yeah, I got my money back.
I haven't filed yet,
Spent most of it.
But you got closing.
that's good.
I did wisely, I paid off.
How you doing, darling?
All right, my friend, how are you doing?
Oh,
Good to see you, always.
don't want to squeeze too hard, I won't hurt you. Kim said they got grow arms.
You do.
Very well, sometimes to do. Very working.
He's at work last night.
Get everybody lined up on this. Brother Joe? You got open for?
Date is the 5th, right?
No, I gotta look and see here. Fifth. If I didn't have a watch, the date on, I wouldn't know.
Sometimes I have to get my phone out. I hate watches, so I have to depend on my phone for the time.
I love my watch, cause I'm driving down the road, I wanna know what time it is, I have to reach over and grab that phone, flip up and scan it up so it gives me time. Now, I'm
Mine
looking
stays
at the road.
on the,
Mine goes black, the screen goes black when I'm driving. As it goes black when I'm talking. I already stays lit up for like 15 seconds. I can turn it up to 2 minutes, but all it does is kill the battery quicker. Yeah. I ain't gotta change nothing on here, so I'm just gonna set it down and go to look at the tree.
So, today's the third month. Fifth. You got the third month and the fifth,
Today's
today's the third month,
in the fifth day, yeah,
fifth day, yeah.
yeah, I know what day it is.
My wife at the bank almost messed up the check, she put it on the fourth instead of the third.
I've done that before.
How you do? How you do?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. Can't complain.
I got my bad days and my good days.
Yeah.
I had a terrible week.
Uh-oh.
I guess Lisa got some of those, huh?
Oh, yeah.
It's a little bad in Jeremiah, man, but not too bad.
I'm
You're always
right
been pretty good
now,
too.
I don't even know what I'm gonna eat for lunch.
You what?
I don't know what I'm gonna eat for lunch.
Why?
What
You got,
got?
you're a big boy, you can find something then. While you waiting somebody to get it for you?
No.
Robin a good cook?
Oh, yeah, she's a good cook, but she don't want to cook. That's the thing.
You have to think about cooking. I've got to that point in my
I told,
life.
I told her,
I had to go to the grocery, I've
I
always
still
had to
do
go to the
50-50.
grocery store, buy it. When I get home, take it out, put it in the house, put it on the shelf,
I'll put it on the oven.
and then
Or
I,
stove.
it ain't that simple, and you know it. So don't
She's
just
thinking
stand
about-
there and try to tell me something. You
She's
think,
thinking about lunch.
huh?
She's thinking about lunch.
Well, if you want a full meal, which I know I've cooked a lot of full meals in my life, and
We don't
you
even
have to
hardly
get
cook
up,
full meals.
you know, cook it, prepare it like everybody likes it,
Yeah.
and then clean up after everything.
It's quite a
It's,
chore.
Spaghetti didn't turn out
It's
right
time.
last night.
consuming.
Yeah, I always hated that, just a housewife. Just a housewife, starts at about 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, no
About 10 o'clock at night.
paper. Yeah, right, Reese.
What's that?
No paper house on.
Oh, no,
She might get some sleep
Get paid
in.
no mind.
yeah, pay no mind, pay no attention.
That's right.
To sometimes treat you like a second-hand citizen in your own home. I refuse that, you know.
Well, I don't mind doing stuff for Joe, but it bothers me when he asks. Is that weird? You know, if he's sitting there and he needs tea, I'll give him tea or whatever. And I sit down and he says, oh, I need this. I'm like,
Yeah, but you're not waiting if I sit down.
really?
That's what I mean, I sort of, spoil people, I'm wishing that it is, but, don't let me be up and then you see me moving and then
It's so good.
it's just as I sit down, well, I need this, you know. Well, is your legs broken?
It's over there.
Yeah, that's the way I am. I don't like somebody just, you know, I've been up in it and they've been, I know they've been doing something that's really not essential, you know?
Yeah, his brother-in-law could be sitting there at the table. And a coffee pot be sitting on the table. He said, Hilbert, bring me a cup of coffee.
Uh-huh.
And I wondered how he lives so long.
Guess what? It's time to change some flowers. Yay! We don't do it often. Let's see.
Yeah, my wife's got a little stand outside.
Yeah.
She changes it every month.
See, ain't these a nice springy?
And that's spring, that's.
Yeah, that's pretty.
That's spring, yeah.
Yeah. I think
My
our
wife
spring
does.
already sprung.
My
Yeah,
wife's got a wreath.
God has, begun to decorate the roads coming up here.
Oh, it's so pretty.
It is. I love their azaleas and I see the Bradford pear trees are beginning to blossom out.
Yeah, I like that one. That one's got some wisteria in it, look.
Yeah,
Pretty good for fate, huh? I bought live plants before, they just don't do well in here.
well, they don't last long enough anyway, live plants.
Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, the pollen is,
But I know
it's like, my yard is just yellow. My little blue car, I washed it, it's yellow again.
Yeah, I know.
Wasted $10.
That's all right. It looks good from a molar.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm trying to keep my head on straight. My mama's boyfriend's getting his pickup truck, get a new key to it.
Yeah,
His
one of the
son-
top keys. Oh, Lord.
His son took his keys away because he doesn't have any license.
Well, I can,
And he's paying somebody to put another key for it. And he's planning on getting my mother that has dementia to drive. And we're not happy about it at
that's like
all.
a freaking frag, right?
She got lost twice already.
Yeah, I know one time she was what, over in
South
South
Carolina.
Carolina.
It's dangerous.
I
So,
know that the lady used to stay with me a long time ago. She got in her early, dementia, she'd go off, she had a big old land barge on it.
uh,
And she got out, she would make it back to the house, but then she got where she got out, she got confused as to where she was. And she had trouble getting back to the house, you know, and everything, and
but see, I think if the officer stopped her and said, do you know
where you
where
are.
you at? Do you know
Yes,
where you're
somebody.
going? Do you know what year it is?
Yeah,
She went to the neurologist appointment and she bombed. She did. She did not do well at all. The only thing she got right was the president. That was, I said, well, you got 4 years to know that one. But she didn't know what day it was, what year it was, what
Yeah.
city we were in.
nothing like that.
It's-
That's just right
I think my
there.
mom got lost one time with my sister. And she couldn't hardly get back from her house. She had to go back, Ford Avenue and come back around.
Well, it's different to get lost than to get
Where you don't know how to get back.
disoriented. I guess that's
Disoriented,
the
yeah.
better word. Disoriented.
Yeah, I got lost one day, I missed my turn off the expressway going to the doctor's office, and I already, before I turned off at the next exit, I knew how, I had a plan to get back, where I could get back there. Well, instead of turning right, where I was supposed to turn right, I turned left, I wound up down at Savannah State.
Oh, no. That's no place to be.
So, I have so much trouble with people who don't give good directions. But
Yeah.
I have asked the guy at the gate, and I said, well, he didn't know, he's security guard, and so, well, he did, told me how, and so I was really closer by, it was easy to get back, maneuver my way back to Eisenhower where I needed to be, you know.
I'm pretty fluent in Savannah, Fuller, and now I'm starting in Statesboro because I'm about generally the same location. Either direction, I'm going 35 miles either way. It doesn't matter which way I go. I'm going.
Yeah, I know when the hurricane came, I went up to Statesboro to overnight, and I got lost up there, and I mean, I think I asked a dozen people in Statesboro where I was going to stay.
Good morning.
Good
to see you. How you doing?
I got lost one time coming back from Effingham. And I stayed on 95.
Hey, dude,
How you feeling?
well, I'm feeling better, but I'm still taking medicine.
Really?
Yeah,
Well, hopefully soon, huh?
I,
Maybe with the nicer weather.
yeah,
Yes, definitely.
that's the thing, they can always increase my meters, and I know.
I'll give you a system. Okay. I ain't told Charles yet, he got a little something. He's the last one.
All right, closing prayer.
Oh, I ain't got no songs yet, kid.
Oh,
You got some of these, right?
No, you do.
No, you do. I got closing prayer.
Owens, they selling chickens.
Chickens?
Babies, the little babies. And I so tempted to get some little birds.
We need
Did you
to.
hear that?
I was kitchen too, because
Owens is selling babies.
I have snakes,
Yeah.
and they just are havoc on chicks.
It cost you more to raising than it would
Well, not anymore.
where you buy beef.
Oh, not feed, I'm sorry, but the eggs are,
No, you wouldn't,
the
what you
eggs
pay
are
for it, you buy
going
big.
so high.
You buy big, you might pay $4. It'll cost you 30 to get him grown.
Oh,
So you like, last year I had 250 head last year.
wow.
I about went broke,
Feeding
feeding them, and they're always sitting around the mouth.
That's true.
The only thing that ever made me money was I had turkeys and I had guineas, and I took the guineas to sell, and I made $11 a piece off them. And I had
What
$4
does
a
people
piece. of
really
them.
do with those? Or they just,
There was- I had so many of them, they were down here at the corner store.
Jimmy and I put up,
They're good for,
put up a
guard dogs,
yeah, they'll
and they eat their weight in food.
they're so cute though. I mean, they got that real little round body, that little skinny neck.
Liz wanted them, but I didn't.
And they make a different noise. They don't hurt club.
Yes, yeah, but they are supposed to make the best work out there.
Trees.
I like their speckled, are all of them the same color, that speckled white and black?
No, that's a whole different breed.
Yeah.
I got dark
I like to start.
Dark Cornish at the house. You know, the little Cornish Bantams that you buy? These are the same exact thing, except they're huge. And I'm the only one in the state of Georgia that's got those. Nobody's got them. I've got five hens and 2 roosters.
Yeah, my brother has probably got,
Yeah.
runs has a chicken house.
But right now, I'm not-
Do they have quail eggs?
7,000 of them.
Do you want?
Are they like quail eggs?
Oh, no, God, no, these are regular chicken eggs.
So, where's Dana at?
Huh, who?
Dana.
Yeah, they have
Now, I
some
service
fancy
Georgia
chicken.
quail.
I have no
I
idea.
can get all the eggs I want to live.
Huh?
But they're little tiny, about the size of a thumb.
Yes, there's quail
Eggs
eggs.
aren't that big.
They have some that are, they have an egg that's black. And some chicken lays black eggs, or egg that's a blue.
I've seen them mark with green, she had all those different eggs.
I used to have a few chickens as pets. They're very fun.
We got a chicken
Yeah, it's,
over my lifetime as kids at Easter.
Yeah, that's how I got mine.
Different ones, and
What's chicken?
that one year, burger, we got the chicken. And,
I was right, I didn't even know what out there from that grave, you hit me all at once.
Yeah.
Where is it?
And,
Yellow.
couldn't find my chicken. When the snow melted, we found that chicken.
Oh,
He did not make it through the snowstorm.
You got chickens now?
I thought about it though, if I didn't have so many snakes,
The snakes ain't too bad, it's the hawks you gotta worry about around here. The
well,
hawks, they were
I
too
have a lot
damn.
of trees, so not as forceful with that, but the snakes are having,
You mean the
Chickens.
the chicken?
I have a lot.
so it would be better to buy a
The
chicken
chicken
that's
snake.
already grown.
Yeah, but you better get a job. But when I tell you that, I
had
have
a
seen them
garden
go,
and it cost more to get tomatoes.
That's right.
I've seen
That's true.
chickens right now selling $55 a piece. How many of them do you want?
Well, there's a shortage of chickens.
I think they tell you what it is over here, shortage of nothing. I think people are.
The shortage of chicken, but the chicken The red leggers, and white leggers, there's plenty of them for the chicken houses.
Yeah.
How much is a roof?
Well,
You know what
Richard,
I was at the sale yesterday,
Mexican
some,
file.
up here around
They don't
Rome,
regulate it all.
there's tons of chicken houses.
some of the chickens, old chickens that come out of the chicken house was bringing $10 and $12 a piece. Cause they got plenty of meat on their bones being fed all the time.
Yeah,
But it's ridiculous.
there's gonna be a shortage of.
But you can't bring those home though, cause we caught, the feed they're eating right now is like 31% protein. And all you can get at the grocery at feed store is like a 10 or a 12.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, more,
Right there.
174 invitation, 174.
So did you get you one way or the other?
Oh, yeah.
Coming or going?
I thought I was gonna do something. I hatched off all them chickens last year. Had them everywhere. There were so many of them, they were running in. And you couldn't afford to feed them. This cost me $100 a week to feed.
Oh, my word.
Need some help? You said 174?
174.
Hey, Joe, how about
Thank you.
85?
85, I think I done that last week.
Yeah, I've got my thing there on it.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Joe, did you get your mattress all
I
squared?
did, yes. Thank you so much, Mary.
One.
Good morning.
Let me
Was
write
it
my
just supposed to
check.
be called?
I just did that one, Richard.
Oh, that's right, we did that one last week.
Do you have my phone number there?
There,
Yeah.
There, Bill. How you doing, sweetheart?
Oh, I had a busy weekend. My mama keeps taking me out.
You said 174.
174.
How you doing?
My granddaughter's got a complex. I took her her feet stink.
Yeah.
And she's washing her feet like 4 times a day. I'm serious.
First song.
1.5 years old.
First song,
She picked her feet
417.
stink.
Wanna come on, baby?
Cause that was always her thing. I would pick her feet up.
Yeah,
And she laughed.
I know.
But now she's taking it as, my feet stink, you. I have to buy some Lysol and move her down.
I'm gonna give her a complex too. Don't get that girl nothing to drink. Every time she gets something to drink, she pisses. And every time she gets the glass, I get sick.
She does.
Every
She
time.
gets to
Has
school,
missed
then
yet.
it'll be hard for me to
From
do it.
spilling or?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's dumping it on us.
By the time she gets to
Oh,
school.
she don't
because
have to.
We read to so many.
Well,
other
Sometimes
things.
she dumps it on me, not on
Other
herself.
stuff and all,
Get-
because I
get
don't
a
have time to
sippy
take
cup.
care of it.
Secure one. It doesn't leak because the ones that turn over and leak are very good.
Kim got her little glass
Just one,
last time.
they grow out
Put
of
about that much tea in it. Had the lid on top of the straw. So she takes it and goes get the straw and she tilts it over and just pour tea all over me.
Yeah,
And all over herself too.
yeah, but the sippy cup, you don't need many because they grow out of it pretty quick, but
Yeah, she has one now. It has a disc at the bottom and a little tube. So it stays in the bottom of the cup and it's supposed to be non-leaking.
There you go. Let's go say hi to everybody.
Oh, look at her.
Yeah, let me see.
We can have some shit.
Joe knows twiddling her around.
Buddy's coming.
Yeah, have them hanging from their toes.
You gonna be? You be gonna be? You be gonna be? Hey, no girl, ain't you? No girl.
So far, we have all granddaughters.
really.
All granddaughters,
She got jealous last
which
week.
is okay.
Yeah.
Tell me, oh, Mason.
Yes.
She said, oh, I'm like, you better go with me.
Yeah, they both, well, you had a son though, so you appreciate them better.
Yeah, I do. Them boys are loving that. They love their mamas and their grandmas. Boys are,
You. And you.
They're different, aren't they?
yes, very.
It's amazing. I had one daughter and two boys. Kind of blessed the family. I was the only girl. Leah had one sister and 3 brothers, but
Yeah, that, those boots, her grandparents.
when you raise them, they're different. Now, I don't care what they say,
So I'm like,
I don't care.
I think you see
They
the
are different no matter what you do.
Yeah, my mom had 4 girls.
I can't imagine with girls. Like I say, me being the only woman, it didn't matter. And I was the oldest, so.
We used to fight. We would fight out over the bathroom, out over whatever. It was bad.
Online.
My sister, she didn't want the bathroom. She spit in my hair one time because I had my head in the way. She said, "Oh, hey, I like your dress."
I'm liking the boots.
I know, it's so pretty.
She's like a link pin.
I see. A button. She's able to get her fingers
Did you
just
start
perfect.
crawling yet?
Oh, yeah.
She's back there last week. She was scooting over.
Oh, that's all she does. She doesn't crawl.
Think I'd be
She'll
able
get
to.
on her knees.
She doesn't want to, I think, yes.
Oh, well,
But
the
she
mirror was
stands
there.
up.
It was cute.
It's a miracle Erin survived.
Yes,
You
and she
so
stands
lucky.
up. It's so
I made him rough too.
yes, she stands
What
up.
are you,
The
rough
second
and
I
tough?
put her down, she'll stand
Yeah.
up holding something.
That's good.
She's strong.
She is.
Yeah.
She's such a
Remember, I went to teach you martial arts, and I hit him one day, he wanted to crook up the head.
All right,
You know,
yeah.
boy, you gotta fight back. She's in her voice, that's what she does, she's using her voice. You kick me, you kick me in the head, you kick like a little girl.
She goes to
I made him,
everybody,
I taught him how
and
to
then she
do
keep
it right.
an eye on
He forgot
you.
everything.
Good morning.
You better get
Yes,
your
it
bag.
does. Yeah, that color.
Color was good.
Oh, you took
I've
that.
never seen
I moved
that.
it because I didn't want you just kind of annoying.
Oh.
Hi, Isabella.
Okay, well, say hello to Vicky. Look like that here.
Is she
Turn
here?
around, Bella.
Yeah.
How are you?
It's good to see you.
Oh, she's smiling.
She is the best little baby.
Baby.
She is a good
So
baby.
is Taylor's.
Are you a good
She
girl?
didn't cry ever.
Yeah,
Oh my
this-
goodness,
this
you
skin
got your
April
girl.
last
Oh,
Well,
my
you
goodness.
want to
Watch you
Joe-
get your
Joe-
Oh, give me a hug. Give me a great big hug.
Hey, dude, it's,
She's tall, isn't she?
Oh, yes.
I didn't think about your mama.
Well, she sees something.
Jewelry or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's got a
you-
necklace.
She loves jewelry.
I don't really
Put
mind as
it
long
on
as I got their
Exactly, yeah.
Some kids will jerk.
You wanna put it in your mouth.
Yeah, nasty.
Little at least.
So what kind of transfusion is she getting, the iron?
Iron
It takes 6 hours.
Yeah.
Slow.
She's so sweet. You
I
got it?
tried to call her, I couldn't answer, but she's back. You got her rid of.
Usually what you do is sit there and just play on your phone or whatever. They feed you.
I'll never be with anybody on this.
You can get like a visit.
Hey, Mr. Joe, how look at this?
Yeah, Mary Frances was needing some lights for her house, and I told her about these LED lights.
Yeah.
And I said, you can't get no better. I said, they last like 25 years, and they're so bright.
They are.
And they even have them in like a decorative style.
Yeah, they last for flipping ever.
Yeah, and it's good on electricity.
You good, huh?
Yeah.
Pretty.
Oh, you do what you
I
do.
made that
huh?
in school. You did have fluorescence.
I'm left over
We did that in
hamburger.
School.
Yeah.
And it made a big difference, they said.
I hate those fluorescent
Chopped
I do
liver
too.
sometimes, so.
You've got a bunch of them.
Chopped liver.
The top liver might be better.
Nothing to do with liver is good.
I don't really say liver's good for you.
It is. It's wonderful for you.
Leftover hamburger ain't.
Joe, I like liver fry.
Huh?
I like liver fry.
Ooh.
I eat it. I eat liver. I like chicken liver too.
The best way to cook liver is fry it up nice and crisp with onions on top, and then throw the liver in the trash and eat the onions.
No.
Well, I do a little bit different. I throw it all in the trash and find something else to eat.
My sentiments exactly.
I just don't like it. And Donna hates it because they served it to her and told her it was steak when she was young.
Oh,
Yeah, you
yeah.
have to know just how to.
Tell me what I'm eating at least. Don't lie to me.
Yeah, I can't stand.
We done that to our sister, my old sister-in-law. She would not eat deer meat. 'Cause I don't eat deer meat, I eat cow meat. We had deer steak one day, and that girl was chomping down some deer steak. He like 5 pieces. I don't know where she put it at. That is so good. And she found out later on she was eating deer meat.
Oh, Amazon Smile is ending. And now that we started getting money for it.
You ready for me to get started?
About 20 minutes ago, yeah.
About 20 minutes ago. Okay, I'm good. I'm just on time. Well, good morning. Welcome to the Church of Christ here in Elbell, Georgia.
Good morning.
The Holy Ghost.
Those who have not departed this morning's services, opening prayers will be by Brother Joe. I'll be your song leader. Communion by Brother Charles. Assisting be Brother Kenny. Dismissal service for Brother Wade. Would open song books up number 417 for our first song. 417. I'd like to stay here longer than man's allotted days and watch the fleeting changes of life's uneven ways. But if my Savior calls me to that sweet home on high, I'll live with Him forever in glory by and by. Oh yes, I'll live in glory by and by. I'll tell and sing love stories there on high, there with my dear Redeemer, no more to die. Oh yes, I'll live in glory by and by. I want to be a service along this pilgrim way and lead the lost to Jesus as fervently I pray. As day by day I travel, I'll keep Him ever nigh and live with Him forever in glory by and by. Oh yes, I'll live in glory by and by. I'll tell and sing love stories there on high, there with my dear Redeemer, no more to die. Oh yes, I'll live in glory by and by. The end I know is nearing, by faith I look away to yonder home supernal, the land of endless day. I'll cling to Him forever and look beyond the sky and spend the endless ages in glory by and by. Oh yes, I'll live in glory by and by. I'll tell and sing love stories there on high, there with my dear Redeemer, no more to die. Oh yes, I'll live in glory by and by. For opening prayer, let's turn to sing number 568. 568. Oh, beautiful star of Bethlehem, shining afar through shadows dim, giving a light for those who long have gone, and guiding the wise men on their way unto the place where Jesus lay. Beautiful star of Bethlehem, shine on. Oh, beautiful star of Bethlehem, shine upon us until the glory dawn. Oh, give us a light to light the way into the land of perfect day. Beautiful star of Bethlehem, shine on. Oh, beautiful star, the hope of light, guiding the pilgrim through the night, over the mountains till the break of dawn, and into the light of perfect day, it will give out a lovely ray. Beautiful star of Bethlehem, shine on. Oh, beautiful star of Bethlehem, shine upon us until the glory dawn. Oh, give us a light to light the way into the land of perfect day. Beautiful star of Bethlehem, shine on. Oh, beautiful star, the hope of rest, for the redeemed, the good and blessed. Yonder in glory when the crown is won. For Jesus is now the star divine, brighter and brighter he will shine. Beautiful star of Bethlehem, shine on. Oh, beautiful star of Bethlehem, shine upon us until the glory dawn. Oh, give us thy light to light the way into the land of perfect day. Beautiful star of Bethlehem, shine on.
Let us pray. Our Lord, most gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for this beautiful day. We thank you for the joy that we have to come to worship. We ask, dear Heavenly Father, that you be with us. Help us to do and say those things that are pleasing in your sight. Help us, dear Heavenly Father, to try harder to be your servant. Be with us as we go through this service. Be with us as we worship you. Help us, dear Heavenly Father, be your servant. In Jesus' name. Amen.
Before taking the Lord's Supper, let's turn to see number 44. Number 44. I traveled down a lonely road and no one seemed to care. The burden on my weary back had bowed me to despair. I often complained to Jesus how folks were treating me. And then I heard him say so tenderly, my feet were all so weary upon lose. Be faithful, weary pilgrim, the morning I can see. Just lift your cross and follow close to me. I work so hard for Jesus, I often boast and say, I've sacrificed a lot of things to walk the narrow way. I gave up fame and fortune, I'm worth a lot to thee. And then I hear him gently say to me, I left the throne of glory and counted it the loss. My hands were nailed in anger upon a cruel cross. But now we'll make the journey with your hand safe in mine. So lift your cross and follow close to me. Oh Jesus, if I die upon a foreign field someday, 'twould be no more than lovely man's, no less could I repay. No greater love had mortal man than for a friend to die. These are the words he gently spoke to me. If just a cup of water I place within your hand, then just a cup of water is all that I demand. But if to death by living they can thy glory see, I'll take my cross and follow close to thee. Let's pray, please. We thank you, Heavenly Father, for the privilege we have this beautiful morning to come to the table and take this bread that represents the Savior's broken body. May each one take it, no matter well pleasing to thee. In Jesus' name we ask. Amen. Amen. Pray again, please. Again, Heavenly Father, we thank you for the privilege we have to come forward and take the fruit of vine that represent our Savior's spirit. May one take it, no matter well pleasing to thee. In Jesus' name we ask. Amen. Y'all would turn to number 103 before we get to our meetings. 103. I want to be a worker for the Lord. I want to love and trust His holy word. I want to sing and pray and be busy every day in the vineyard of the Lord. I will work, I will pray in the vineyard of the Lord. I will work, I will pray, I will labor every day in the vineyard of the Lord. I want to be a worker every day. I want to lead the erring in the way that leads to heaven above, where all is peace and love in the kingdom of the Lord. I will work, I will pray in the vineyard of the Lord. I will work, I will pray, I will labor every day in the vineyard of the Lord. I want to be a worker strong and brave. I want to trust in Jesus' power to save. All who will truly come shall find a happy home in the kingdom of the Lord. I will work, I will pray in the vineyard of the Lord. I will work, I will pray, I will labor every day in the vineyard of the Lord. Let's pray, please. We thank you, Heavenly Father, for a good week. May we replace to give and may be placed in the right place as we've been given to. May this help someone what we give out of trouble. These things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Y'all would mark number 174 for invitation. 174. And before our lesson, let's turn and see number 165. 165. Oh, the fount of every blessing, to my heart to sing thy grace. Streams of mercy never ceasing, call for songs of loudest praise. Teach me ever to adore thee. May I still thy goodness prove, while the hope of endless glory fills my heart with joy and love. Here I raise my Ebenezer, hither by thy help I've come, and I hope by thy good pleasure safely to arrive at home. Jesus saw me when a stranger, wandering from the fold of God. He to rescue me from danger interposed his precious blood. Oh, to grace how great a debtor daily I'm constrained to be. Let thy goodness like a fetter bind my wandering heart to thee. Never let me wander from thee. Never leave the God I love. Here's my heart, oh, take and seal it for thy courts above.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good to be with you this morning. Donna is texting me back and forth. She's in a, I believe she's doing an iron fusion today, which will be hours in a place. I had phone, look out the window. She's been sending Kim and I views of her window view this morning. Many years ago, before actually my time, in the Eisenhower administration, they began dreaming of something that we take for granted today. And that was our very unique to the world freeway system. No stops, except when, you live here and there's a wreck or construction on 16. Limited entrance, limited exits. It's our interstate freeway system. Now, most of us don't know what that means and how it got here. Eisenhower, his administration came up with it, and they began kind of, looks like half-heartedly to put it together. But then, during the Kennedy administration, in 1962, the United States put nuclear weapons in Italy and also in Turkey. And so the Soviet Union decided during the Cold War that they would put nuclear weapons in Cuba. It was called the Cuban Missile Crisis. We had already tried to invade Cuba, and really ill-planned event, but from what I understand, in 1962, which is a year before I was born, in October, there were all kinds of military vehicles trying to get down to Key West and Miami. And they choked up traffic all the way down there. And so then people realized that what had come from the Eisenhower administration was a good thing. that we did need limited access freeways in this country. We did need limited access high-speed freeways in this country, and other countries have tried to duplicate. It's not a new thing, though. Isaiah comes up with something called the highway of holiness. And I want you to look at what freeways are. They're a way to get from one point to the next, way to get somewhere quickly and easily. There's an entire network of signs. Yes, I drove before there was GPS. Okay? I didn't know there was anything else. There's an entire network of signs. I look at maps and I see I need to find a sign that goes this way, that way, the other way. It was so easy to go by freeway. So easy to go by highway. Now, Isaiah says, look at what he says. Now, if you'll look at this, it's a beautiful scene. Okay, this is something for a postcard somewhere. I don't know where it is, but the problem is, if you're in a car, you ain't going nowhere. If you're in a vehicle, you're not going anywhere in there. And may not be going any place that you can see by boat much. Let's look at what it is. In Isaiah 35, beginning with verse 3, strengthen the exhausted and make the feeble strong. Say to those with anxious heart, take courage, fear not. Behold, your God will come with vengeance. The retribution of God will come, but he will save you. Then the eyes of those who are blind will be opened, and the ears of those who are deaf will be unstopped. Then those who limp will leap like a deer, and the tongue of those who cannot speak will shout for joy. For waters will burst forth in the wilderness, and streams in the desert. The scorched land will become a pool, and the thirsty ground springs of water. In the haunt of jackals its resting place. Grass becomes reeds and rushes. A highway will be there, a roadway, and it will be called the highway of holiness. The unclean will not travel on it, but it will be for the one who walks that way, and fools will not wander on it. No lion will be there, nor will any vicious animal go up on it. They will not be found there, but the redeemed will walk there. And the redeemed of the Lord will return and come to Zion with joyful shouting. And everlasting joy will be on their heads. They will obtain gladness and joy, and sorrow and sighing will flee away. The highway of holiness. What's it meant to be? You just heard it read. It's meant to be for those who are saved, for the redeemed, and it's meant to be a safe way. Donna called me at school the other day. She said, I just had to talk to somebody. I saw one of the worst things I've ever seen. There was an overpass on a freeway. Yeah, I'm sorry, an overpass on a road near where she's staying in Jacksonville, which is near the Mayo Clinic. Something happened. Don't really know what it was. But on an overpass, a car being driven by a 65-year-old man went over the guardrail and lost his life, fell in his car to his death. There's a lesson there to be learned about driving. Be careful where you're going and look all ahead. I don't know what caused it, so I'm not going to say too much about that. But there's a lesson to be learned in that spiritually. Once you get on that highway of holiness, stay on it. The boundaries are there, and the boundaries are there for your own good. You know how many times I've been traveling 16 from here to Macon? Now, that is the dullest part of the trip you're ever going to make. But do you know how many times I have seen people stuck in the median because they missed an exit or something like that? Those medians are not designed for you to travel on. They're only designed for cops to catch you speeding.
Amen.
That's it. Do not ever leave the highway. The boundaries are there. They even have warning bumps and all kinds of stuff on the side. Do not stray off the boundary. It's dangerous. Let's go back in time a little bit. Time I had to teach sometimes. In the pioneer days, these people found, if they could, good routes. They cleared many times and developed. They improved upon what was there. They navigated obstacles, rivers, Mississippi Delta, woodlands, mountains. A guy that really has a horrible reputation here in Georgia, but was a very ingenious fellow who did what he did. To do what he did do, he left Atlanta, General Sherman. He cut his supply lines completely and decided to live off the land and marched all the way through here to Savannah, through the swamps, through the forest. Many times his troops would make for his wagons and everything that he was bringing what's called corduroy roads out of logs. And they made it here to Savannah, probably ending the war a lot sooner. These people that are our ancestors did this. They found ways. Here is one of the most bizarre ways they found out west. I don't know where this is. You're going to have to look very closely for it to work. But if you'll see, right through here, these folks took those covered wagons up that mountain and around it. They made a way to go. They made a safe way to go. It doesn't look very safe here, but remember, we're way far away from it. They made it up. Isaiah 35 and verse 8, and an highway shall be there. You see, these people knew how to build highways. Early settlers, wilderness travel, people knew how to make a road. First of all, about this highway of holiness, it's safe. No lion shall be there, nor any ravenous beast shall go up therein. It shall not be found there. God not only wants you to come to him and to live your life devoted to him, he has made it easy. He's made it easier by providing this highway of holiness. It's a safe way. Look at all those passages. Jesus will provide rest. In the wilderness shall waters break out. It help in dealing with temptations, dealing with it, you come off that road. Okay? More than conquerors. You're going to win if you stay on that road. But I can promise you this, you'll lose if you get off of it. We can see that today. I understand that freeways in our highway system are boring. They are. They're dull. You go from here to Macon on 16, you're going to find yourself not really knowing where you're at unless you have GPS, because one pine tree has the same face as every other pine tree. That's kind of the problem we have on 204. I've lived here 30 years. I have absolutely no idea where I'm at most of the time. I mean, I know where Fort Algarve ends. I know where that big power plant is. I know where Morgan's Bridge is. And I know when it says Ellaville Community when I get there. But most of the time you look through there are just pine trees on either side of it. And I don't keep track of where they are. I just keep going. I'm going the right direction. But I know I'm safe. If I'm traveling on the freeway, I know I'm safer. Now, God's highway is much more safe than ours. But his is safe. His is safe. He takes away a lot of the problems, a lot of the dangers. It's also holy. Now ours isn't. It's also holy. In Isaiah 35, 8 and 9, the unclean shall not pass over, but the redeemed shall walk there. You see, the God of this world blinds our enemies. The gospel is hidden from the wise and prudent. Hearts hard and ears closed. And the fruit of the Spirit that we talked about on Sunday night. All these things make it holy. It is a holy place to go. It's a holy place to go through. The other places that we thought are holy, God tells Moses out of the burning bush, take off your shoes, for you are on holy ground. You're in the presence of the Most High God. Now, the cool thing about this is, that's not true about our highways. Only good, godly people travel there. Only good, godly people travel there. No one's going to try to bump you off. No one's going to try to get you away from it. No one's going to chase you. People are going to follow you. And you will follow others. And we will all get there together. It's a highway of holiness. It's a holy place. Not only is it holy, it is accessible. The redeemed shall walk there, not may walk there, or can walk there. The redeemed shall walk there. It shall belong to those who walk on the way, even if they are fools. You ever done something stupid? You ever been a fool? Isn't it great to know that God knows that we're going to, and He keeps us on the highway anyway? Not true physically. How many of us have lengthened our trip phenomenally by taking a shortcut? You know, I've done that several times. See it on a map. I'll take a shortcut. That's the one thing I love about Google Maps. It's not perfect, but it's more perfect than me trying to look ahead. It knows where the traffic congestion is and where you ought to go. Here lately, when I leave from here, I've traveled 4 or 5 different routes to get into Savannah. Because there's traffic, there's a problem, and you don't have one place. And it says, go ahead and go that way. And when I look at it and see, well, I'm kind of slowed down, Google Maps will tell me, yeah, but this is the best way there is, sorry. But God desires that all men be saved. He wants everybody to be saved. He is going to spend a huge amount of time, resources to make sure you're safe and make sure that this highway is accessible to all. When you're on it, you're rejoicing in hope. Now, the only thing I could think of about anybody driving and rejoicing was those kids singing "The Wheels on the Bus Go Round and Round." I'm not an individual that enjoys a long road trip, especially by myself. I don't like driving someplace all alone. Those people who are semi-truck drivers and people that do that traditionally, God bless you. There's a special place in heaven for you. It's just not something that I do well. I get bored. When I would have to leave Mom and Dad's home in Daytona and go all the way back to Searcy, Arkansas, it was a boring trip. I would get books on tape. Luckily our congregation had sermons on tape, and I would listen to them all the way. Something to do. But it was mostly freeways, and they're dull. They're safe because they're dull, but they're dull. Sometimes I would get off. You know, people think, well, I-10 is the only way in North Florida. No, there's Highway 90. You go through there. I saw the Battle of Olustee. I didn't know part of the Civil War was fought in Florida, but it was. You know why? Because I got bored and I drove that way and saw it and got out and looked. I didn't even know about that battle during the Civil War. But there's all kinds of things you can look. 90 will take you right through the middle of little towns that with courthouses and stuff. That's going to take you longer to get from Tallahassee to Jacksonville. But it's a whole lot more interesting. These are people that are rejoicing because they're on this highway. These are people that love it. Now, the problem is, like we already talked about, leaving the highway. You don't want to leave that one. That's just water. You leave that highway, you're going to die. It's going to happen. Highways were designed with a purpose. They're cleared and they're safe. Away from the highway is hard going. Impossible to go. You see, people love the desert. John 3:19, men love darkness. We like all that shiny stuff out there, but I can promise you, when you look on either side, it's a mirage. It's a mirage. We like that though. We like that mirage. We like what it looks like. We like that illusion that's off the side of the road. Don't look there. Don't want to go there. Or, and let's face it, in many of our lives, we've already done that. We've already gone there and found out what's there. And it's just like a thirsty man in the desert that sees an oasis, it's a mirage. He gets there and finds out it's not what it was supposed to be. It's not where it was supposed to be. It's not the thing that's there. It's something that we saw. In the same way as a Christian, all of the big lie is wrong. Happiness is not found in the Bible. It's not found in the syringe. It's not found in the pill. It's not found in all of these things that this world tells you that it's going to be found. It's not even found in money, in wealth. It's found in God.
Amen.
And that's it. It's found in the highway of holiness. So you see, God has prepared a superhighway for man to travel on. Condition of the highway, the hills have been brought low. The valleys have been raised up. It's clear to predators. He made it easy. Now, he made it easy doesn't mean it's a simple thing to do. But now I can promise you this is from a lifetime of study. Christians tell you a lie too. Because they're going to tell you, leave this world and be a Christian. Even though the world is fun and it's easy to live in it, it's better if you live in Christ. That's wrong. Is it tough to be a Christian? Yes, it is at times. Is it tough to be a sinner? Yes, it is. In fact, from what I can observe, it's much harder to be a sinner than it is to be a Christian. Because then you're not going where the rest of the world is going. You're traveling with less people and better people. I'm sorry, it's less. But you're traveling with a whole lot better people. You're not chasing after the stuff the world is chasing after. Think about it for a minute. This happened to me going to Savannah the other day. I was going to pick up Sylvia at the hospital Monday. I went down 16, and that was fine. But the people were parked going the other way. So we came home another way. Okay? We came home another way. You know why? Because it was easier. It was easier. The easier way is to live with Christ. The lessons we need to learn, the way is prepared. But we must still travel on it. You know, I-95 and I-16 are doing none of us any good right now. Because we're not traveling on them right now, right? Even 204 isn't doing us too much good because we're not moving on it. But it's going to be invaluable, right, when we try to go home? Except for me, I just walk. But it's going to be invaluable, right? The highway is great when you travel. It's the straight and narrow. Look, there are challenges along the way that you have to stay on the highway. There are challenges along the way, I will admit. But you know something? If you think about the illustration that we're using here, if you're traveling down 16, there are challenges. Are there more challenge for you? are more challenged for the guy that's stuck in the median because he left the highway. It's the same way. The big lie is that the world of sin is great. It's fun. You have to give up all of that to be a Christian. And that is not true. You do have to give up all of that, but it's not fun. It's not enjoyable. And every sin that you can think of, I'm not going to try to get you to stump me, but I've seen a lot of them. People have come and talked to me about a lot of things they've done. I've never seen sin bring anything but sadness. So the question remains to all of us: who will follow Jesus along the highway of holiness? Let's together we stand, and as we sing.
Careless soul, why will you linger, wandering from the fold of God? Hear you not the invitation? Oh, prepare to meet thy God. Careless soul, oh, heed the warning, for your life will soon be gone. Oh, how sad to face the judgment, unprepared to meet thy God. Why so tallish are you standing, while the fleeting years go by, and your life is spent in folly? Oh, prepare to meet thy God. Careless souls, oh, heed the warning, for your life will soon be gone. Oh, how sad to face the judgment, unprepared to meet thy God. Hear you not the earnest pleading of your friends that wish thou well, and perhaps before tomorrow you'll be called to meet your God. Careless souls, oh, heed the warning, for your life will soon be gone. Oh, how sad to face the judgment, unprepared to meet thy God. If you spurn the invitation till the Spirit shall depart, then you'll see your sad condition, unprepared to meet thy God. Careless soul, oh, heed the warning, for your life will soon be gone. Oh, how sad to face the judgment, unprepared to meet thy God.
Heavenly Father, take this sermon today and take that and build up other people. Be with the sick that are numbered, be with Robin with back problems. Be with everybody here. In Christ's name, amen.
Amen. I need to ask you if you would to, can you remember Donna in her prayers? She's gonna be coming home tomorrow. She's been there since, Monday. So.
She's on Zoom.
Hmm?
She's on Zoom.
Oh, you made it, did you? I've been looking for you.
I've been waving at her.
I don't know, she can't see us.
Oh,
Our camera's off.
oh, dude.
Remember her on her way home tomorrow and the test that she has to take. The second thing I'm gonna announce, we used to be able to park over here on this side of the building. We probably don't need to do that anymore
Yeah.
because there's no way to park over there and stay on church property. So parking out here is always good. And if you wanna park in front of my house, it's fine too. I don't mind either way. And that back door is always open during service times. So, and it's open at the same time as the other one is. Because that land does not belong to us or a member of the church anymore. Let's see, what else am I missing? We know of anyone who's sick that needs our prayers or anything?
Robin's hurt,
Robin's not feeling good.
not feeling good.
Anyone else? All right, also one more thing. Next weekend, all of the United States except for Arizona is going to exercise stupidity.
Yeah.
And we're going to move our clocks forward 1 hour because we're going back to daylight savings time.
Yeah, I appreciated your jokes and the rules.
I just think it's one of the silliest things that we do as people, but I understand why we don't do daylight savings time year round, because during the winter time, you've got kids waiting for the bus in the pitch black of night. Okay? But it seems like what we need to be doing is to just move it 1/2 hour one time and then just never move it again.
Yes.
Once Congress decides that Georgia has already decided they're gonna go to daylight savings time year round, so. But, and then several other states, but we already voted for it, our legislature has, of course, the state Georgia Assembly is gone now that we did that. All right, there's nothing else. I'm gonna call this meeting to order of the Elbel Church of Christ, the Church of Christ at Elbel Incorporated. The last time we met was February 12th, 2023. I read the minutes. As far as the treasurer's report, the month of January, we had a beginning balance of $11,775.27, contributions of $8,805.14, expenditures of $6,247.19, leaving closing balance at the end of January of $14,332.48. Locally, we had $3,751.14 in deposits and expenses $1,258.93. Insurance payment is coming soon, was discussed. The paint to paint the auditorium has already been secured. The gutter in front of the building has been ongoing for the last 2 years. Lights as well. Solar panels have been mounted, they're not hooked up, and then we adjourn. Is there anyone that I can entertain a motion to accept the minutes as read?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye. All opposed? The ayes have it. All right. So far as last month's treasurer's report, the month of January, we had an opening balance, like I read just a minute ago, the closing balance in December was $14,332.48. Expenditures of $6,444.95. Paid contributions in excess had contributions in the amount of $6,867.37. And the closing balance we had was $14,754.90. So I'll entertain a motion to accept the treasurer's report as read. Second?
Second.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Okay, locally, which I meant to say, but we're gonna count that as this motion. Locally, the congregation here contributed $2,832.37 for the month, and we had $1,804.95 in expenditures. Is there anything besides what's already read as old business? For the good and welfare of the congregation that we can talk about?
Just thank you for your constant support.
Yeah.
And if you have any ideas of things we can do locally, kind of looking for local issues.
And certainly if you know anybody in need
Yeah.
or anything, especially if they need food, we have that food pantry back there. Make sure you take the food and tell them where it's from,
Where's the food pantry at?
in the kitchen.
Okay.
And that cabinet all the way on the right, the big tall cabinet.
Well, most of it's in the office now.
Oh, most of it's in the office now. So take it, find somebody that needs it. Is there anything else we can talk about? Then I will entertain a motion to adjourn. Second, all in favor, please signify by saying aye. All opposed, say nay. We are adjourned. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, that's need.
You want to leave
We're
this?
good afternoon. That was the quickest meeting I think we've ever had. Oh, Donna left.
Good to see you, sweetie. How are you? Just hanging in there?
Oh, I forgot to tell y'all, Amber's gonna be promoted to a big sister.
Yeah, go in here and have that baby.
Granddaughter.
Yeah, always pregnant again.
Oh, she's really.
Yeah. We don't know.
Can you see?
I didn't see anything with babies. Go in there and have their own.
Yeah, she's made a.
Where's the picture?
Oh.
Yeah, she's
Walker
already
Dad
4
was
months
all the
along.
way back
Baby,
here.
being all the
I always look photographic.
Oh,
I'm gonna, you don't mind, I'm gonna,
Oh, okay.
oh, lost my camera.
I don't mind at all.
I forgot to do it all the time. Try to grab them.
Let me get one more, I always get two.
Oh, I got to remember to grab that envelope. That's important.
I've got to trade my phone in. There you go, do that, see that pose again.
What, that one?
Yeah.
That ain't the problem. But it was, I forgot to get the envelope. Put it right.
Yeah, that's good. Alrighty.
Timmy gotta go. Timmy gotta go. That's a nice picture.
Hey, pretty girl. Hey, Isabella. Oh my goodness, what a smile. And got some teeth.
Yeah, I got some little grains of rice in there.
Can you bite somebody now?
Oh, yes.
Hey. You are so cute. You just all eat up with cute. Oh, can you walk?
Hello, I can stand. You want to stand? Don't get into all those wires.
All right, Mr. Jeff. Have a good week now, okay?
She likes to crawl in better.
There you go.
There you are. What a big girl.
She sees that stuff, she's gonna go to it.
Oh, yes.
That's how they know, that's how they learn.
Bye-bye, you go.
Y'all have a good one.
Bye, little one.
I'll put it in the
There's
cash.
lots of
Donna's
computers
coming back
too.
tomorrow? Oh, yeah,
Good,
she
unless
just
they
wants,
Unless they find something else,
yeah,
you know, and they have been here lately.
you didn't get to go.
No, Dad, the person that usually stays with Dan was in the hospital herself. She's not able to be over here much. And the worst thing about it is she got home, she had a heart problem. She went to a heart doctor.
Mhm.
Donna took her there where she left Friday. She went there and then they kept her for 2 days. Then I took her home Monday afternoon. And then she tried to take a bath, fell, broke her wrist in like 4 places.
Oh, God.
Now she's waiting on an orthopedist. It's just these things don't happen to real people, I know.
Yeah.
That's Amber's. That's dress.
Oh,
Yes.
it fits you great. Oh,
Mommy,
that didn't last long.
mommy, mommy.
Yeah, we hope that she has a boy this time. But
Yes.
we say healthy, you know that's what you're supposed to say, but which is what you say. But she-
Well, I mean, you named the first one Ember. What are you gonna name the second one?
I told them they are to name the next one Ash, because Ember and Ash,
Uh-huh.
that sounds like twin names, don't it?
Justin Covington at school. He's one of my former students, but he works with us now. Worked with us. He named his Asher.
Asher. I like that.
In
That's
fact,
more.
he named all 4 of his kids, except the last one, after tribes.
Oh, okay.
He's got 4 boys. 2 of them are twins.
Oh,
Levi,
I like that.
Asher, and somebody else. I can't remember who.
Well, when I was picking names for Aaron, Joe didn't want him to be a junior or anything like that. So he said, as long as it's biblical, he was okay with it. So I came up with Aaron Michael.
Mhm.
I wanted to name him Aaron Gabriel, but I was scared people was going to call him Gabe or something strange.
That's what we already called.
I know. So,
Okay, bye, everybody.
bye, baby.
Bye, sweet girl.
Bye.
You are such a sweet girl.
Hey, you're about to put the hand. Yay.
686,
She's happy.
686.
She
Is
is.
she a morning baby? She likes when
Well,
she's
she wakes
happy.
up by 7. Yeah, she's happy all the time.
Oh,
By
that's
God's grace,
great.
yes.
She said, feed me, change me.
She wakes up and she plays in her crib for some time,
Uh-huh.
so I don't have to rush. I mean,
Oh,
I don't have
wow.
to rush it.
Yeah, I know. We're kind of concerned about Ember being jealous, so we're gonna have to see how that goes.
Well,
Bye-bye.
you know Macy.
Is she
No,
doing
it's going to be a
better?
little boy. Why?
Well, Ember's 21 months right now, so she'll just be barely 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She'll just be barely 2 when the baby's born. Joy said, you couldn't tell I was getting fat. I said, I don't look at you that way.
Mama buckled
And
you
if
down. I'll
you
take
did, I
that
wouldn't
back.
told you.
I could tell, but I wasn't gonna say nothing to her about it.
Well, she needs to get some weight. You know, she always has, but she's so skinny.
Yeah, she's a,
I've not
Can't be
got
helped.
to change, but it will fall out.
okay. Yeah, she's a little funny. Oh, your battery won't work around there. Is it bad or did it just?
I don't know why it's there.
Mhm.
I think just put it there. I think it fell off somehow. I think, well, did it?
Yeah, so we're just trying to clean up their area over there that kind of got mucked up. Should we try to rake some of that up later or,
It's already ready.
so they're good?
I mean, look at it, see if you think of anything else. I was going to, remember several years ago, the Easter egg hunt, y'all raked up all that pine straw?
Uh-huh.
It's still there.
Yeah.
And you just set it on fire.
Well,
I'll bring it.
I wouldn't worry about it.
No, I mean, I don't know if it's
That-
ours.
Bye, everybody.
It's on their side.
Okay, I'll leave it
I wouldn't
alone.
worry
You
about
got
it.
her, Charles?
And I burned that little
She
pile
wants me.
of stuff on the other side of the shed over there, set fire to it yesterday.
Is she home now?
Who?
Sylvia, is she home?
Yeah, she's home, but she's waiting for a orthopedist appointment. And that's what I had to do, and I lost my finger. I had
Yeah,
to wait forever, and you know, they finally got me, but
yeah. Oh, I talked to him to go in to get his skin looked at by a dermatologist.
mhm.
He has bad skin damage, and he's gonna get lab work he hadn't had in a century,
Well, yeah, because he hates
technically a decade.
the needles.
Yeah. Well, when I check his blood, it's always so low. I worry about him being hypo instead of the other. I'm worried that he's low blood sugar.
That's just as bad.
I know, it can be worse.
Yeah, it can be.
So he eats like a horse.
Well, yeah, but I mean, could be masking the problem.
I know. Because I asked him, I said, do you ever feel dizzy or nauseous or anything? He said, no. I said, well, when blood sugar gets low, you usually feel like you're going to pass out. You get nervous,
Yeah.
jittery, feel a little woo. You know how that is. Just
Well,
go.
If mine gets low, I get sleepy and kind of confused.
Right. Despondent.
Um,
I don't know where I'm at.
yeah.
Hmm. So, need to clean this up.
Wow.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize you're still in there.
This actually is working. It's just taking a little while, but not as long as it used to. I don't know what's going on with it.
I didn't realize you're still sitting up there.
I
Even
know.
worse, I realized all Kim's stuff was still up here.
She's doing the communion, and we were talking about something. I don't know what it was. Gotta wait till that loads. I'm gonna link it to our website. I'm done. Upload completed. I need to get the linking. There it is. Okay.
I went over to Estelle, South Carolina Friday,
Mm-hmm.
pick up my load, supposed to go back to Jessup with it. I got to Estelle about 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
I don't run out of hours till 5:20, because I just get started 3:20 that morning.
Mm-hmm.
I got to Estelle and I called my company up and they got a long line over here to Estelle. I can't even get in their yard. I've already checked in, but I couldn't get in their yard.
Mm-hmm.
So how many trucks got over there? Oh, about 30. She said, 30? Yeah, about 30 of them. She said, call me back in a half hour. You know how it's going. Okay. Wait a half hour, call her back. Well, I haven't gotten the yard yet, but I'm the next one to pull in the yard. Going home. We'll get you tomorrow.
Aaron loves this new job.
I went by there Friday, I pulled in,
What's he doing now?
Truck driving,
jockey driver.
For
Yeah.
who?
Target in Midway.
Okay, what was he doing before?
He was doing Raven, but what did y'all haul? Everything in a container?
Yeah, everything was in a container, mostly flooring.
Yeah, flooring
Flooring and paper.
So now he's for Target.
for Target.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he's only working 4 days a week and loves it. Well, Aaron says last week that Joy talked about going back part-time. I'm like, she's pregnant. She's got a 21-month-old. I don't think this is time for her to go back to work. She asked me about babysitting. I'm like, Lord, Joy. My daily problems of not knowing how things are going to be when I get to mama's is beyond my control. Like you were saying, things you can't control. That's one thing I have no control over.
Aaron's told me that him and Joy's talked about it. And me and you are the only ones that they trust leaving their baby with.
Well, I know that. But I just can't commit. I mean, right now
I know.
with mama, and we're trying to prevent her from driving, but
Yeah.
it takes 30 days and she can rebuke it. But if she got on the highway and a cop stopped and asked her, what highway are you on? She would have no idea. If she asked what year it was, she wouldn't know what year it is,
What day it is.
what
It's
day.
daytime.
I mean, she does not need to be on the highway. But her boyfriend does not care, and he's willing to sacrifice her or her freedom. His mama had a vehicle homicide. I mean, how long ago was that, Joe?
It's been quite a few years ago.
About 20 years ago? No, probably longer than that.
Longer than that.
How much time did she get for that?
3 years.
Almost 4.
Almost 4.
That just don't seem like enough for me to go home. I'm glad she's out, but
Well, Joe, unfortunately, the people that was in there with her for the same crime served less. The reason why she served as much as she did, it was a judge's secretary. Normally, most people only serve like 2.5 years. Ain't that terrible?
well, I had to go to a grand jury on that. They didn't tell me that, but there was a vehicular homicide, and they didn't tell us enough for an indictment. This girl was a teenager, underage, was drunk and driving
Mhm.
up here just past Groveland, so it's just in Bryan County.
Right.
Well, she killed a passenger. She had a wreck of a passenger in the car. And I said, okay, she's drunk. And the prosecutor said yes. So she's been drinking and she's underage. Yeah. Well, I started thinking, I said, guys, I'm not I'm not comfortable charging this kid with murder. She's drunk. Somebody had to buy it. Somebody had to sell it to her. Somebody had to buy it for her. Somebody had to sell it to her.
Yeah.
They're just as responsible, or almost as responsible as she is. And they said, yeah, you're right. So they came in and said, I said, who bought the alcohol that she was drinking? We stopped by a liquor store and went, said the decedent. And he was of age. I said, okay. So we threw the book at him.
Well,
I mean,
me and Joe was talking about the Murdoch case, and I think he was railroaded.
I did the
'Cause
same thing, but nobody, I can't tell it because everybody just wants him to be guilty so badly.
he admitted to what he was guilty of, and
Yeah.
he was a pretty low down scum. Okay, I have to admit that.
Yeah.
But he had no motivation to kill them.
No reason to kill them.
They had
That is-
no life
well,
insurance on them.
Honestly, that is the screwiest motive I have ever heard. I've never heard that.
What?
He killed his wife and son so that he could generate sympathy for his financial. That's exactly what the
Is
prosecution
that what
did.
they said?
That's his motive.
No,
So
no.
people would feel sorry for
He
him.
wanted that other guy to kill him so they could
Yeah.
get the $12 million of his life insurance.
And I have not seen, I even looked on the internet and there's no information on it. But all the pictures, they look happy. You know, Maggie and Alex Murdoch were a
They
couple.
made bad choices. Her
Yeah.
too, as a mother, she made
Oh,
bad
yeah.
choices and allowed things to happen, and they covered up stuff and used their.
Everybody makes bad choices.
Well, they
Okay, and then,
they
look,
use their
The
influence.
thing is, though, yeah, and if you make the wrong one, you need to pay for it. But did he kill his wife and son?
They're
No.
punishing him for the wrong thing. Him being a
Um,
scummy person is a far cry
well,
from being
I
a
mean-
murderer.
If they're gonna get negligent homicide, they got to do the housekeeper, you know, that died.
Yeah.
That he kept the insurance money. Yeah, I know he's a scumbag. He always was, though.
Yeah, he admitted it.
You know, and he's always been a scumbag.
Yeah.
I mean, always since, you know, the judge brought out the fact that your father and grandfather prosecuted cases in this exact same room.
Yeah.
And some of them got the death penalty for a lot less than what you've done.
Yeah.
He said says he's not guilty. I cannot imagine him killing his wife and son, firstborn son.
No, I think Buster's older.
No,
No?
the other one that died is older.
Oh, really?
Buster's younger. Anyhow, he died. I think I'm pretty sure
He was getting
to
death
get
threats.
sympathy for himself, so that he wouldn't go down on this financial thing. That didn't help a bit.
How would
Finance.
that give him, how would sympathy for that stop him from going
It
there?
just doesn't sound like a motive. Now, if she was the one that's leaking this to the law office and stuff that he'd done it, I can see it then. That would be a motive that has been happening before.
Well, I
But,
think Paul was the target. She just happened to be in the wrong place.
well, there's a lot going on with that family, and there's a lot going on with the neighbors around too. They don't like them.
No.
And
Well, they think they're better than other people. They're
They ain't got the
privileged.
neighbors no more.
well, now the Buster does. He owns some of it, but they're going to sell off that house in Moselle, their retreat.
To cover her expenses.
Well, to cover the expenses for, I mean, and they're not going to get as much as he stole.
No.
You know, the people that he stole from are just out of luck. It's just gone, millions of dollars.
Mm.
And the law firm had to pay back some of them because they were financially liable. And they put him, the managing partner of the law firm, on the stand. He said, I'm not angry with him. I was, but I've had to work through it.
Yeah.
You know, which I respected, but
Well, I respected that he stood up there and said, yes, I'm guilty of this, and I'm guilty of this. I did do this, and I have done that, but I did not kill my family.
well,
If he'd have stayed off the stand, he might not have got. found
That's what
guilty.
somebody
that's what
told me
everybody's
that.
saying on the news.
Yeah. But
He wanted to tell.
honestly, I believed him. Yeah,
Donna didn't.
I did. That's what.
I kind of don't think OJ was guilty, but I'm all by myself because that glove did not fit him.
No, actually, after that, he was on TV and they said, "You've already been tried. They can't retry you. Did you kill her?" He said, "Yeah, I killed the bitch." And he put the glove on his hand. He was actually on TV
I
saying
haven't
that.
seen that.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
He said, "I killed her and the other man
Well,
too."
the thing is, the prosecution, who are all dead now, along with the defense on that trial, they hung everything on that glove.
I know.
They
Yeah.
hung everything on that glove. The guy that has his glove is guilty, and he tried it on; it wouldn't fit.
It would fit. He
And
made sure it didn't
He
fit.
don't have the glove. That's evidence of a homicide.
Well, it was
He
all
just got one
bloody
like
and
it.
all. It was all bloody and all. It probably was stiff and
Yeah.
rigid. But with Murdoch, they really didn't have any forensics.
No, nothing.
No fingerprints, no
The
weapon.
only thing was the bullets matched a gun that they reportedly had, but they haven't found the gun yet.
But it was inside of a hunting lodge.
No, it wasn't. They haven't gotten it yet.
I know it was inside a